Hello, this is Carolyn, and this is the fourth sharing circle of Waiting with the Dark. This is the night before the solstice. It comes, for where I am, it's 5:03 Eastern is the solstice moment. So it's middle of the night on the West Coast. So, we're less than 24 hours away. We are in that darkest moment for waiting with the dark. We're here. It's really concentrated. How can we be with it? Before I dive into the topic, I will just give logistical prompts for people who are watching the video later. Number one, I'd mentioned that solstice moment. It's great if you can attend exactly to those moments, but also, if you don't get to your ritual until a day later, we're all in this energy of this time, and things don't happen only for a moment. So do it when you can do it, when you feel inspired. But for whenever you're doing this ritual, you'll want to have handy, if you already pulled a guide from the week or some cards from the week, you might want to have them out by your candle. I'm also just the little meditative piece. There'll be a moment for you to select a guide if you still need to do that selecting. A little tip, prompt, something you might want to think about is if you're working with a deck that's not all divine figures, you might want to pull that guide just from the major arcana. They're the bigger life archetypes and energies and guides. I happen to be working with the Dark Goddess Tarot, which there is a goddess of equal power on every card, so I'm not separating that deck. So that's a little prompt. If in years past you worked with a solstice seed card, you might want to have that out. If you didn't, don't worry about it. And have a deck handy. We will pull a card as part of the meditative experience. I think so. I want to end just with the meditative experience and for you to go off in silence. So I'm going to start with all the background information, all the things to offer to you, to be prompts for you to take what works for you, to do some of it, to do all of it, to be prompts. So we are here the night before. It's the night that we actually would just sit in the dark. You don't have to light a candle. But what I have done is I have not recreated my whole candle wreath. I just have one candle lit. I decided to light one. I could do that and have that kind of before me on the computer. And there's going to be a point in the meditation, and later tonight, I'm just going to spend a lot of time just sitting in the dark. And just being with, releasing, that's the idea of tonight. Then tomorrow comes, the solstice moment comes. And if it's possible, as much as it's possible, find a little time to be quiet, to be with the newness of, this is for me, this is really like the beginning of the year. And this is the solar year. This is where the cycle kind of starts. And like it's old pastime where we follow the moon, all throughout the year, that deep dark is where you release. The new moon comes, that's like an initiating energy. It's a fresh moment. It's a moment to rest and ease yourself into and let your understanding of the energy kind of grow during the day, months, the whole year. And so if you can do a little resting, maybe for you have 3 minutes where you can be by yourself and rest. If you can take a little more time during the day, if you have a little more space, maybe you spend a little bit of outdoors with nature. It can be good on the solstice, kind of connect with that moment. At some point in the day, you are welcome to pull the solstice seed of the new that I have hinted at. If this is your first year, it's the first time you're hearing about it. But And the solstice is the new, I often default to using the language of cards, but it doesn't have to be the cards. It's like an image that comes to you on the solstice, around the solstice, that is the seed that you're gonna tend all year. And it could be a card you pull, a card or two that you pull. It could be the first animal you see. That could really be, that's like, you know, as a messenger, like, oh, that animal, that energy. It could be you open a book of poetry, a book you love, and you find a line, and you're going to take that line with you throughout the whole year. Whatever that line sparks for you, you're going to let it grow, you're going to let it inspire something new to grow within you. And it's a soul tending card. It's not necessarily like a project or something that you're going to accomplish. It could be inner work. It could be, you have no idea what it is for months on end, but you're just kind of tending to it, returning to it in a very gentle way. You let it do some of its own growing, and then you periodically check in with it. When we move into tending the returning light, we do pay attention to it as we go through the 4 weeks. And in a way, the 4 weeks of tending the returning light is in the whole year in microcosm of growth for the seed. So we're going to work with the solstice seed in the second half of Descent and Return of the Light. All right, so then you have your solstice quiet time. And then at night, the idea of, there are often bonfires on the solstice. This has been a tradition for me. I have the Arcadia Wildlife Sanctuary, where I now do some work. They have had this big bonfire for years. Of course, we're not having it this year. But the idea of solstice night is you gather with others, you light fire. There's a bit of celebration, because now that we've hit the solstice moment, now we are tipping, we are moving more, we begin the journey into the light. So there's celebration, and sometimes I've had standing in front of the solstice fire and seeing all the sparks go up, I'm like, oh, we're putting out the message to the sun, like, come back. So that we play a part. We humans are not separated from nature. We have a role to play in helping its turnings and its cycles. So do a little celebrating on Monday night if you can. And don't worry if you can't do it Monday night, because then we move into the week where some people are celebrating Christmas. Hanukkah is over, but some people are celebrating Christmas. That's coming along. And then after that, Kwanzaa, which is also involving candles. So don't worry about Monday night celebrating. If it happens another day, perfect. If it happens like every night, perfect. And because you're out celebrating, we are not doing anything with the retreat in particular. There are no emails for a week. We start off on, what's the Monday the 28th. So take a break, have a party, have some fun, and then we come back and we start tending the seed. All right, I think that is the overview of where we are, logistics, things like that. Yes, I think that's true. So now you're invited to, if you'd like, this is what I'm doing. I am lighting one candle, and we're going to start, and I'm keeping my light on because we need to see, I'm working with the cards, so I need to see the images. So we're going to do that work and do a little card work. And then I am going to blow, I'll say this when we get to it, I'm going to blow out the candle. We're going to sit in the dark together for 3 minutes. And it will be the folks who are here live on the sharing circle. It will be the people we're connected with who can't be on live, or they're watching later. So we're gonna kind of make a circle in the dark. All right, but if you have a candle lit, or you may be imagining it, I'd like you just to take a look. Let yourself gaze upon the candle. It's fire, it's flame. And if you don't have a candle lit, close your eyes and bring into your imagination this flame, this flicker. And candles often, they move just the slightest bit, or sometimes they really dance. You're invited just to tune into your breathing. Maybe see if there's any kind of connection with your breathing, with the movement of the flame. Be with your breath and your body. Just give this flame a long, loving look. As you're gazing at the flame, you could do this either with your eyes open or maybe you want to close and go inward. Tune into what's happening in your body. If there's anywhere that's a little achy or tense, I'd imagine the gentle glow of the flame kind of massaging that part of your body, bringing some warmth there. If you feel inspired to shift your body a little bit, kind of to meet the heat of the flame, feel free to do that. As you're breathing, aware of the breath coming in and going out. Coming in and going out. Coming in and going out. As that breath is flowing, you're also bringing your attention to the place where your body is connected to a surface that's supporting you. To a chair or your feet on the floor. You're kind of imagining that there's little rootlets down on the bottom of your feet. Little rootlets of you are going down through the floor into the soil, traveling down into the earth, feeling the support that comes from the earth. You might also bring your attention to the base of your spine. From the base of your spine, this is a bigger root, a grounding cord. It's dropping down from the base of your spine into the earth. It's traveling along like little rootlets into the dark soil. Feeling the dark groundingness of the earth. It's going down a little further. Through more layers of the earth, through the rock of the earth. It's going down, it's being drawn like a magnet to the center of the earth, where there is a fire that is never extinguished. There's a fire at the center of the earth, which is what makes our planet habitable. It keeps it warm enough for us. And even on the short days in the darkness, and it's surrounded by darkness, it's that inner flame of the earth. And when you take your next in-breath, that flame of the earth is traveling up. Your breath is drawing it up. That earth energy of fire be too much probably to take in if it wasn't going through the darkness of the soil, the rock, steadies the fire. So that what comes up to the base of your spine, this grounded fire, this grounded energy. And you feel it coming up, entering your spine. Maybe really sense it, feel it as color, the yellows, the red, maybe even the blue, fire coming up your spine. Traveling up the spine that's behind the heart. And here the energy, igniting, grounding energy of earth enters your heart. Welcome it in. Let it expand your heart. And with your heart wide open, it's time to meet your guide. You may want to kind of open your eyes slowly and have them focused on the flame. So you started by looking at the flame. Let yourself come back to consciousness, gazing at the flame again. And if you haven't already done so, take a moment, however you do, shuffle your deck, and with your wide open heart, invite a guide to be with you. It's time of the dark. A guide who can help you move through any challenges, can help you find the joy in the dark. And when you have that image brought to mind from looking at a card or recalling it from your memory, like you've been gazing at the flame, gaze at this guide. You might imagine that as you're breathing in, you're bringing the energy of this guide into your heart. And when you're breathing out, you're returning to the guide, greeting, welcome, gratitude, love. As you're connecting with this guide, you're opening yourself up to a message coming, but you're not worried about it being conscious or having particular words. You just open up. This guide has emerged for you. Is there a message offered? You're invited to put this guide, working with a card, put it down by your candle. And take up your deck, if you're working with a deck. What we're opening, now that we are walking with this guide, we're protected, we have their resources, their support, their love. We're opening up to a message coming about what to release into the long night coming. This is something that we no longer need to carry, something to let go from this year as we move into the next, so we can move with a wide open, lighter heart. And it could be something completed. It could be something that just didn't happen. Maybe something from your solstice seed that just didn't happen, but you're going to release any feelings, ideas, any need to fix it. And just shuffle how you would shuffle. And this card is going to guide you, giving you some insight into this releasing process. Could literally show you something to release. Could just be offering you advice about how to do your releasing. Just give a shuffle and find that card and spend a few moments looking just at that card. What can you release into the long solstice nights so it can be transformed? You're taking a look at your card, or you're calling to mind, however you do, this guidance for what to release into the long night. And if you'd like some more clarity or support, maybe you bring your guide up next to this guidance for what to release. See if looking at them together helps you make some connections. You may want to take a moment right now before we go into the dark to do a first go, like maybe write out a line, or in your mind have a line of like what you think this card is prompting you to release, inviting you to release, and write it down now. And we're going to be in the dark for 3 minutes, just silent in the dark. And as you're in the dark, you can just be, you can start your releasing. No need to worry about getting it done or totally understanding. You can certainly take this into your sleep tonight and let it go, let it be clarified. So, but for right now, you're invited to have a line or have an idea of what you're releasing. And I'm going to see how dark I can get this, because the computer will still be on, obviously. but I am waiting with the dark. We're going to have 3 moments of just dark sitting together, feeling the support of our guide for us, of all those people gathered right now and gathering later, all the people who have been waiting with the dark with us, and all of their guides. So it's a powerful circle. So just time to be. I suppose I'm a little funny here, but I'm just going to stay in the dark. And I invite you to stay in the dark as much as you can uh, after you do your meditative piece. Um, just to end, if you close your eyes, feel that darkness that's within you and surrounding you. The darkness that is nurture, the darkness that comes with the protection of your guide. And feel also the flame within you, right within that darkness, that energy, both of you and your cells, and the connection to the center of the earth. Everything is connected. You're invited to bring your hands over your heart. Feel that energy of your heart just moving and concentrating and quiet within you. You're invited to bring your attention to the base of your spine. Here you might imagine there's a flower, maybe it's a lotus. Its petals are open, but then they begin to close because they're sealing the energy, the groundedness of earth, the fire at the center of earth. They're sealing that energy into you. And at the bottom of your feet, the little rootlets, there are lots of little flowers there. They're your vision, your dream of the spring ephemerals, because it is out of the winter comes the spring. And these flowers are open, and their petals close. They're sealing that energy into you. So you can have it to walk peacefully through tomorrow's solstice, and then with celebration throughout the rest of the week and into the next month. May the energy and the quiet and the silence nurture you through the solstice. And we'll see you on the other side when we tend the returning light. Take care.